I want to congratulate you. I see this star from Star in the Morning. You know what I'm saying? Through an event for you in your honor, man, for your work as far as educating people about what's going on and exposing these pedophiles and salute to you, man. Congratulations and salute to you and keep doing what you're doing, man, because you're needed. You know what I'm saying? And hats off to you, brother.
Congratulations, bro. Yeah, thank you, man. I really appreciate Star for going out his way like that because he didn't really have to do that. And if you know anything about Star, that's not even his style. He doesn't do stuff like that. He tell you in a minute that he's a friend of no one, but he's really been extending himself out, a lot. So I really appreciate what he's doing. Plus, it got to be done. So somebody has to do it, man.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. And, that's definitely why I salute you for your work. But this guy, this Tommy Sodomite guy, he's been talking out of the side of his mouth. I saw some very disrespectful videos aimed at you. What's going on, Poppy?
Well, with Tommy Sotomayor, I wasn't really up on him before, but when I finally start to see who he was and heard some of the shit that he was saying out of his mouth, I was just baffled, how people subscribe to this dude when he's saying. Like, some of the things that he was saying was just unbelievable. With Sandra Bland, for example, he said that he wished he was there to see the police hang her. And I was like, no fucking way.
Oh.
I was just like, no way. Did he really just say that he wished he was there to see her hanging in the cell? It hurt my stomach.
Then he called all kind of stupid bitches and stuff like that and shit. You know what I'm saying? He a dumb motherfucker, man.
And then he said for the police or for white people in general, if you see a crowd of black people, just open fire on them. I'm like, nah, no, you didn't say that. Just open fire on us?
Wow.
So,
this guy,
he
sounds like he's trying to incite violence. He's trying to. I mean, that's just insanity. Why would you encourage a fucking race war at a time when tensions are just crazy at all levels? Why would you encourage violence? I don't get it.
Because what he is for one, I feel like he's an agent because nobody gets away with talking about saying homosexual stuff all over the internet or YouTube. I got flagged for it. I'm flagged for it. And then he flagged me again. So pretty much next time I get flagged, my page is going down. But the only reason I figured out a way to get around so I still be able to post videos. But right now I'm not supposed to even be posting no videos for the next just for talking about the gays alone. They gave me 90 days, and that was the first time. I didn't even know any better, and I didn't even say nothing no wrong. I said my problem with homosexuality, and that got me in trouble. So when you have him up there, he's saying all types of slanderous stuff towards everybody, and YouTube is not doing nothing towards him. So to me, he's an agent of white supremacy. That's what that man is.
That's what I said. Yeah. Because he sit there and he bash black women all the time in particular, too. Like, that's like his pet, that's his thing. And he got a black daughter, you know what I'm saying? And you a black man, how can you just sit up there and be so insensitive to shit like Sandra Bland, you know what I'm saying? Like,
guys,
like you said, he an agent, man.
I don't know much about it, but is that like his thing? Like, I see a lot of black people, especially like going at him a lot because he disrespects black people. Like, is that his thing? Like, he just like says controversial shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't know much about it.
Makes sense what Poppy said then about him being a agent for white supremacists.
You gotta understand, Tommy, the people that's sponsoring Tommy and giving him all his donations, just look, and you'll see he deals with white people they're the lowest of the low white people, and then he deals with black people who hate black women, who have a serious problem with, and I know a couple of people that I didn't even realize love Tommy, and they hate black women with a passion. Tommy hates the masculine black man, the alpha man, and he hates black women. And if you listen to him, you can hear that all in him, because Tommy is the epitome of a fucking coward. If you see the video up there, he had a beef with Tariq Nasheed, and Tariq Nasheed was all up in his face. He goes down to Harlem, he gets punched dead in his face in Harlem, doesn't do anything. He gets pulled over on the highway, he gets to an accident on the highway. Y'all got to see the video with him disrespecting that sister, threatening her. I mean, he's threatening her. He told her, don't make me pop, I got my shit in the car, don't make me go to the car. So you threatening to pull out, you so much of a coward, you threatening to pull out a gun on a woman? That you could probably just beat up with your head, but the woman was all up in his face too, like, I'm not scared of you. But he approached her wrong first. But you're willing to do that to a woman, but you ain't willing to do that to a man. That's why I said to him, like, you talking about he gonna tell me in my inbox I'm at the gun range. You at the gun range for what? You ain't gonna shoot? You ain't got it in you. You're not built like that.
Poppy, didn't you say make a post? Correct me if I'm wrong. I saw a post that said that the cops were actually called on you, and you believed it was him.
Yeah. Yeah, he owned.
Wow,
everybody that was on the air was contacting me, telling me that there was an officer that put in a complaint number for him in New York against me, and I'm like, wow, look at this. He got to understand something though. I don't care. I'm not scared of that. Like, come on, man. I'm not scared. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want to go through the headache of having to sit in nobody's own jail bullpens and then have to go through the system and bail out. But that's not going to scare me. I'm still going to speak out against what the dude is doing and what he's saying. And see, the worst part of it, what really got me into this situation is the fact that people sent me the video with him taking a shower, talking about taking a shower with his 8-year-old daughter. And I was like, you know what? See, that right there, I don't understand white people, but I know white people that's good white people that won't do no shit like that. So I had to say, you know what? It ain't a difference in culture, or better yet, he's been around some white people that brainwash, because people made all types of excuses for him. And I'm like, and this is why I'm repeating the dumb shit, because I'm trying to get in their mind. First of all, he's not white, so why would white people? I don't understand that. I know white people that's good white people, bad white people, bad black people. Who the fuck does that? It doesn't make any sense to me. Who gets in the tub? Now here it is. You got your 8-year-old daughter. He says, yeah, because you know when I stopped taking a bath with her, is when I noticed she was looking. She kept looking down there. See, here's my thing right there. My thing right here. Tommy's a slick pedophile. What he's doing is grooming his daughter to be fucked, number one. Number two, he's throwing it out there. He's throwing that out there to the people just in case he's ever pressured, or in case his daughter slip up and say something. He's actually throwing out there, yeah, I take showers with my daughter. But when he got pressed about it, knowing that that's damn child abuse, he had to go back. So when I threw it out there, he actually said all over the air that I was a liar, and he had people questioning with them, if he lied on Tommy Sotomayor, would you lie on Bam Bada too? So when I put the proof out there, he flagged my video.
You put the truth out there, and next thing you know, your video gets flagged. And how far after that were the cops called on you?
I'm not sure exactly at what point did he call the police, or how that went down, because I wasn't really listening. Everybody else was bringing the information to me. I refuse. Like I refuse to listen to that clown. I can't do it.
Oh, man, that's just crazy though, man. But okay, this video surfaced to him saying this about his daughter. That right there, I mean, anybody that supports the guy, if they see that, they automatically should be like, you know what? No, I ain't fucking with this dude. This dude is saying some disgusting things. Man, that's not cool at all. Do you think this guy, you know what I'm saying, has got it in for you? Do you think maybe he's cool with Bam?
Well, honestly speaking, I think at some point in time he's been in contact with some Zulus because I'm starting to hear the same pattern now. He's starting to this dude was a molester. He was 17 years old. That's that Zulu shit. That's that Zulu Nation rumor right there, where they tried to save Bam and say, well, and it's not all of Zulu. It's just some of them. Oh, he was 17 years old. He was a young. Even still, when you say 17 years old, it's still despicable. It's the same shit. Legally, it's against the law.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, now he wanted to debate you. Does he still want to debate you?
Honestly speaking, he's been in my inbox. He stopped because he knows it's not gonna happen. But yeah, he wanted to debate me. But my whole thing is like, you don't debate with a pedophile. This is the same man. Like, it's so much with him that it's not even funny. This is the same man that said, I couldn't work in the high school because if I work in the high school, I'll be fucking all the students. Teachers go to jail for fucking the students because they're underage. So you just admitted again that you a pedophile.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, I don't know what's going on. It seems like more and more these guys are sprouting up just about everywhere. And people don't seem to be doing anything about it. That's why I respect you so much, man, because you're one of the few that's outspoken about it. You know, what's been going on with you, though, Poppy, man? How have you been holding up through all this?
Well, I mean, it hasn't been easy. The situation has forced me to be strong, even though you have your times of being depressed. I mean, I've got drunk one day recently and really, really broke down. Like, it's just, and it's not so much that, you know what I mean, just what I went through in the past is the beefs that I have, the enemies that I have now. I actually love some of these brothers, but there's no turning back. So it's like I got caught up in a little emotional state where I really broke down. And people don't need it's like, it's a lot of, it's not just one or two, it's a lot of brothers that I would never be friends with again. Behind the situation, because it's just how they handled the situation. Not only how they handled the situation, but then for me to have one of my closest friends, TC Islam, he was murdered recently too. And me personally, I believe and feel like Zulu Nation was behind that. And people might say, you know, that's snitching. No, it's not. We're dealing with a pedophile here, the pedophile ring. Anything goes when you're dealing with pedophiles. You do anything to take down the pedophile ring. But it's like I said, and I tell people all the time, if I wanted to put Bam in jail for past shit, I could put Bam in jail for probably the rest of his life. I can do that. There's no statute of limitation on certain shit. I tell people all the time, with me, I did my time. So I'll leave it as that. He understands that too. And that's the bottom line to that. This was never about me, you know, me having something personal with Bam other than him being a goddamn pedophile. And that's the bottom line to it. If I wanted Bam going right now, I can walk right into the DEA office and say, listen, this is what happened on such and such day or such and such time, and I already served my time for it. And that's the bottom line. I can't get no clearer than that. I'm not a rat. But when it comes to pedophilia, we're going to deal with the situation.
Yeah, that's something totally different. You know, I mean, it involves the safety of children. And I want to go back a little bit. You just said TC Islam, rest in peace. There was an interview with him just a few weeks before he was killed. And in that interview, he said if this was in the 90s, he's like, I would have come forward in the 90s, but I would have been killed right away, I believe. And then after this interview, a few weeks later, he gets killed. You know what I'm saying? And you think there is that connection with the Zulus? Because he was one of the few outspoken ones.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I spoke to him the night before he got murdered. I spoke to him, and pretty much he was crying on the phone. And to be honest with you, I was annoyed with him. I was thinking to myself, shut the fuck up, because I personally was upset with TC because TC knew a whole lot more than what he said, what he was saying. And I've been telling him already, like, to be honest with you, I was curbing him because I was upset with him. And a few times I spoke to him, it really felt like TC was hurting because he really wanted to get back in with Bam, but he knew it was no going back. Bam wasn't having it. And the night that he got on, the night before he got murdered, I was on the phone with him. I was talking to him, and he was like, he told Ahmed as Bam's manager, he was like, listen, tell Bam got 3 days to get back at me. If Bam don't contact me in 3 days, I'm telling everything. So when he said that to me once again, he pissed me off. Like, first and foremost, you should have been said everything to let the cat out the bag.
Yeah.
Then he started going in. I'm like, so TC, what's some of the everything? Let me know some of the everything. And he was like, yeah, I tell that Bam was fucking on Mos Def and he was fucking Q-Tip. I'm like, well, that's not surprising. To be honest, that's not something that I saw for myself. But this is what TC Islam said that he knew, and there's a whole lot more. Then he started talking about other things that I wouldn't really get into because it pertains to like street stuff or whatever. I'm never gonna put Bam up under the gun for street things that was done because the code is the code. But when it's dealing with pedophilia, it's an all-out door on his ass.
Yeah, that's something way totally different, obviously. And wow, so he died with a lot of information. Cause he probably knew Bam for 30, 40 years maybe.
He got murdered the next day. He got shot. He got murdered the next day. He got shot in the heart and he got shot in his eye. It's executions. See, the Zulus immediately what they started telling people was he got murdered in a robbery. Like, first and foremost, how you putting out rumors of why he got dead or how he got killed and none of y'all down there? Because he was around Zulus down there.
Yeah, why be so quick to throw out theories if you exactly. Yeah, that makes it that you know what? I tell you what, I hear stuff like that and I think, man, Poppy, be careful. Be careful, man. I mean, real talk. I mean, because I know you're a real dude. You know what I'm saying? You're a real motherfucker. Ain't no doubt in that. But the same token, these guys, they're pretty much everywhere, are they not?
Let me tell you something, man. I wish a nigga would. Like, it's not. I'm not TC. TC was playing games. You see what I'm saying? He was playing games, number one. Number two, he was bouncing from state to state, and he said it. He was in fear from his life. He was getting death threats. But see, that shit that they pulled on him is not. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you I'm getting death threats because first and foremost, the motherfuckers know if they sit up there and they threaten me, I'm gonna start plucking them off one by one. I don't give a fuck if the Fed is listening to me. That's when you gonna make me do what I gotta do. I don't have a problem with sleeping in jail for the rest of my life, defending myself and fighting for a cause and fighting a pedophile. I have no problem with that. I'll be eating them nasty ass sandwiches until the day I die. So as far as them making any threats, nigga, do you make your move? Understand something. I fight back. You know what I mean? And I fight back on all levels. So and they understand that. And that's about it. Right. Another thing too is the boys that killed TC. That boy that killed TC, that was a young boy. They do what they've been doing since the early fucking 90s, getting little boys like me in the early 90s to do their fucking dirty work. That's what they do. But these old ass washed up niggas, they ain't got them. They ain't got another 10 years in them. These dudes up here that I'm beefing with, they ain't gonna do it themselves. They're gonna try to send somebody to do it. They ain't gonna do it themselves because they know when I see them coming, it's automatically on. What you think? You gonna walk up to me and just give me 5?
Right.
As soon as I see you, you're going to get ready and get scared, and I'm going to get in mine. And we're going to take it from there. That's just how it goes down. I'm not no sucker. Bam knows that. And you can tell that I'm not a sucker by the way Bam is moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he's not addressing anything. He's just
Bam is, you know what it is too, that you got to understand about Bam? Bam is calculated. Bam ain't all the way a fool. Bam knows that behind something with me and Ron Savage, something so big, if his timing is the wrong timing, he'll mess around and he'll spark some type of RICO law. The Zulu Nation in the black space has never went down under the RICO law for gang activities. So Bam knows he has to be very, very careful.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest with you, the feds ain't never came around not one time and said, yo, what's going on with him touching these little boys? So when they say it's COINTELPRO, it's like, where the fuck at? If the feds started shaking some trees, they going to find little boys.
Right.
Everybody else is finding them. You can't even talk to a person in the Bronx that's not coming across somebody that's been molested by Bam.
It's fucking crazy.
And what's crazy is the information is out there, and they're just letting dude just run around and do what he does, like nothing's ever happened. That's
this
disgusting.
shit is crazy because when you said, now he got the Zulu anniversary coming up in November, 3 days of the anniversary, and you got nerve enough to have one of them Masonic lounges. It's supposed to be having it in a building. Like, how y'all have a pedophile in your building?
Oh.
They always saying shit.
He got some type of app, that you download that's on my Facebook page. I forget exactly what it said, but I'm like, come on, really? So I was on one of the dude's Facebook pages, and it just so happened he's promoting Bam now. This is one of the same dudes, because there's two dudes that was out there with Bam. When Bam got locked up in Brazil, Righteous supposedly was out there. He had inside information, and he was outside of Bam's house the day that Bam got stabbed. So this is all the shit that set the shit off with me. Bam got stabbed by a young man. He gave me the picture of the young man, and then you sit up there and tell me he molested a boy in Brazil. Righteous been covering up for Bam. So when he told me that, and then I'm looking days and days and days, I'm looking at this picture of this boy that he molested, like, whoa. Young boy looked like me. You still doing this?
Wow.
20 years later, you still doing this?
Oh.
No, that's why I can't play with a Tommy Sotomayor, man. Tommy Sotomayor is saying things, and then the bad part about it is you could go to Tommy Sotomayor, the comments that I had on my page, or to some of the things that he's saying, and you would actually see the sicknesses of the people that's following him. Nothing but pedophilia, incest babies, test tube babies. The sickest people follow Tommy Sotomayor. These are not sound-minded people.
You're right. You're sure right.
Yeah, man.
That's why we can't let I can't let it off for this topic, because it's like you watch my Facebook page, I put up certain posts, everybody on it. You put up something with these pedophiles, they go silent.
Yep.
Not
all the
realizing
time.
that when you do that, you saying that it's okay.
Yeah.
And people
yeah,
need to
exactly.
understand
You shun away from it.
I know in the
like
past,
they co-signing that shit.
Endorsing it, yeah.
I know in the past some of these dudes might have, been going to the high schools, messing with them younger girls, and you might not be doing that. You might have grown out of that. That don't mean that you can't change your life and say, you know what, this is what I did when I was younger. I might have been 20 years old or 25 years old dating high school girls because I felt like I still could relate to them. Motherfucker, when you 40 years old, you know you're not living like that. You a grown-ass man. Speak the fuck out. See, people be feeling sometimes, I got skeletons in my closet. I got to shut up. I done did some of the worst shit in life, period. And I'm not going to let somebody, for example, I've been in situations in my younger days where I slapped the shit out of certain females. You think I'm not going to speak out against domestic violence? Is somebody going to say, oh, you a hypocrite? Nah, I'm not with that shit, so I'm going to speak out against it. Just because I've done something in the past don't mean I won't speak out against the shit if I don't live at that address no more.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line to that.
Yeah,
you're going to tell me because there's rumors, you're going to tell me, oh, there's rumors he done shot people before, that I can't advocate for children? Fuck that. I see something wrong, I'm going to stop it. I got to.
Yeah.
And this is the
as
game
fathers
that people play.
ourselves, we got to stand up for the kids, man, because that could easily be our kids in those situations. You know what I'm saying?
Let me
so
tell you
gotta.
I have one of the worst reputations in the streets. This is why Bam don't play with me. But everybody feels comfortable with me having the keys to their house and me watching their children without even a question. People would leave their bank. They would leave their bank cards. They would leave $1 million in front of me and know that it would never be touched. I'm a loyal dude. I'm a good dude. This is why people say I can say something out of my mouth, and people will say they'll respect what I'm saying because what am I lying to you for? Why do I have to lie? The only thing a man lies about in this world, when his wife asks, "Did you fuck that chick?" a man be like, "Nah, I didn't do that, baby." And even still, some of us tell the truth.
Yeah,
outside of that, for
I'll
me,
tell you what. It's needed, man. You're needed because there's not enough people out there doing this, you know. And that's why when people come on the show, like we had a guy, I forget his fucking name. He was some DJ from 30, 40 years ago. He came on the show and he started talking about Bam, and we started bringing up the fact of how we're disgusted with Bam and he's a piece of shit. And this guy started to
man, y'all made my day.
Show. Said, get the fuck off the show.
With that. I was
he had the whole KRS-One defense.
I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah, man, he was trying that KRS-One defense. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's his personal life. Everybody commit crimes and shit. We're like, nah. That ain't correct.
Get the fuck out of here. Rather not, buddy. We'll interview somebody else. You know, we let it be known. Bam supporters are not welcome here. Now, I saw something, Poppy, that disturbed me a couple months back with Ron. You know what I'm saying? I know you and Ron butted heads a little bit, man. What's going on with him? Because he was on the front lines. I mean, this guy's he was going for trying to get bills passed and this and that, and I thought you and him were real solid. He ain't faltering, is he?
See, here's the thing with Ron Savage, right? When Ron first came out, I wanted to bust his head to the white meat. Because my whole thing was, you come out of nowhere when I already resolved my problems with Bam. Bam already pretty much said, listen, I'm not going to do this no more. I'm changing my life, even though you can't believe a pedophile. And I'm going to do certain things to fix what I've done in the community, even though you can't really fix that. Like, for example, he was supposed to open some type of center for the youth and deal with the youth to repair some of the damage that he's done. He was supposed to put a tombstone on B.O.'s grave, and he was supposed to resign from the Zulu Nation. That was supposed to be his last year. Ron Savage comes out of the blue 6 months later, and out of nowhere, my video pops up on Star. I didn't feel like that was a coincidence. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck is the angle that this dude is coming from? And that's what started me coming. That's what made me come back out, because Ron wasn't the first one out. I was the first one out. But Ron was the first one that the public, like everybody, got wind of, because I took my video down off of Facebook like within the first 24 hours. So pretty much, Ron, I was upset because I'm like, yo, who the fuck? I heard of B. Stinger. I've never met him. B. Stinger's not the type that would even. That Zulu Nation is big, so you're not going to know everybody in the Zulu Nation. But B. Stinger was around before me. He's older than me by 10 years. So he was around in the early days, and when he came back out, all of the tension came out because everybody felt like, well, damn, did you put this nigga up to doing it? There was rumors of him supposed to be being able to kill me, and I called Bam on the phone. I was like, yo, Bam, y'all talking about killing me? Bam was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I told Bam, I was like, listen, all right, just make sure I get me something to protect myself. I'll make sure my exact words, because I'm not going to lie, I said, make sure you got 3 of them things for me to protect my fucking self. He was like, talk to Tafik. I said, talk to Tafik. I'm talking to you, motherfucker. He was like, nah, talk to Tafik. He didn't want to talk. I'm like, listen, I don't do that tape recording shit. That shit that Ron Savage do, if I'm talking to you, I'm never going to tape record your conversation. Not without you knowing. If I'm recording you, I'm telling you I'm recording. I'm not gonna record nobody. That's not my style. I wasn't raised like that. We don't get down like that. So more or less, when Bam told me to talk to Top Peak, I told him to go fuck yourself, and that's how I ended up on Star. So with Ron Savage, after a while, with me seeing him all over the place like that, I was like, you know what? I'm still not feeling that. Something in my gut told me not to trust the motherfucker. Now, when I listened to his story, I knew for a fact that Bam did what he did because he knew too many of Bam characteristics that I knew that Bam did. I knew it's like it was familiar stuff. So I'm like, okay, I know what he's saying is true. But later on, I come to find out that his motives for coming forward, he was pushed into coming forward. You see what I'm saying? And the dude that pushed him to come out pretty much had a problem with Bam. He was down with Bam, and Bam owed him money. And that's why he pushed Ron Savage to come out on Bam. Now, Ron Savage, all he did with his manipulative ass was just basically use the politicians that he ran with in a fight that they was already fighting and put his name on top of it. He was an opportunist, and he was slick with it too. So he rolled in like a white shining knight on his armor, and that's what he looked like. But then down the line, I believe personally he took a payoff. His best friend on Facebook, who was a friend of his life, that's been around him since she was 15 years old, she said pretty much that Bam got a gag order. Ron Savage got a gag order from Bam where he can't talk about it no more. And the only way that Bam can do that to him is if he took money. And what makes it even worse, the bitch-ass nigga is on tour and going around on tours with Mickey Benson. Mickey Benson is the one in the audio, which is Ice-T's manager, that was telling him, motherfucker, you know ain't nobody raped you. You know you wanted it. That's not rape. So now the same motherfucker that you leaked your own video, your audio, you gave it to me to leak. You put it out there. You gave it to Star. You put this shit out there on him, and now you running around with him. So the same dude that's telling you he's the founder of the Zulu Nation, now you running with the Zulu Nation, so you hear nothing from Ron Savage no more. He's just silent.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy, man, because he was on this show. You know what I'm saying? And it's fucked up. That's fucked up.
And see, this is what I tell. The only thing I will say is about Ron Savage, I will say it did happen to him. I firmly believe it because the things that he said, I know it happened to him. But, and I'm not going to make an excuse for Bam taking advantage for somebody that's a child to him. I'm not going to make no excuse for Bam doing that. And the next thing, Ron Savage is a sucker. He's a sucker, but at the same time, how many people did Michael Jackson pay off? How many families did Michael Jackson actually pay out $20 million to? And people still running around talking about Mike didn't do that. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. Once you paid out $20 million, you just said you guilty.
It's like Usher with them herpes he's been giving out to people, paying people off left and right. Yeah. Yeah, it says a lot when you hand people a bunch of money. Say what?
Michael Jackson gave out herpes too?
No, I mean, kind of like similar situation now with Usher paying people off with the whole herpes thing. I don't know. Michael Jackson might have.
Well, you know what? The one thing that I do think, I hope and I pray that Usher, you know what I mean? Because sometimes, I guess he got sloppy, but I hope and pray that he ain't never touched nobody's kid. You know, a person is fucked up, but they can live through their herpes better than a person can live through what child molestation do. The reality of it is there's so many people running around with herpes, it ain't even funny. The stats is like 7 out of fucking 10. So when you running around, this is why I'm not one of them dudes that's just running around fucking any old female because it makes you appreciate having a wife because it's scary. The amounts, and now you got this what's the HPV? Like who created that?
Yeah, giving people
There's no
cancer
cure
and
for
all
HPV. There's no cure for HPV, and it causes cancer in the body. So it's like, well, damn. What lab did y'all make this shit in? So you got to be real careful running around, you know, who you sleeping with. And homosexuality, that's just like the gatekeeper to HIV right there. Everybody says it. Even the doctors say it. So it's like, you can't sit up there and say we bashing them. Homosexual men is the number one pushers of HIV.
Yeah. Yeah, it still is. And they said that since day one. But now, look at the culture that they're pushing to the youth. You know what I'm saying? They got kids so confused from such a young age. That's why I encourage parents, teach your kids right away what's going on. You know, show them the truth, because otherwise they're going to be so confused, man. You got two dudes on a Campbell soup commercial talking about being, you know, the father of the boy. I mean, come on, man, that's promoting that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's through music, through cartoons, through the sports, everything.
Man, I just seen the cartoon earlier that's on YouTube, and I was like, wow, really? They got pedophilia cartoons on YouTube. YouTube, like, man, these people are evil because they know all this stuff is here. These cartoons has been flagged, and yet they still leaving this stuff there. It's crazy.
Oh. Yeah, and people don't even realize this too. About 5-6 years ago, a scientist at the CDC, head of a $1 billion department at the Center for Disease Control, was actually arrested, and they found pictures of her engaging in bestiality, and she was accused of molesting a 5-year-old boy with her boyfriend. They arrested her, and that was it. You never heard about it again. But it's on, I mean, you can search it up. It's on CNN, reported it. You know, I mean, they let these slime balls get away with this stuff. And just like with Bam, you know, all that information is out there. These media outlets ain't saying shit about them. Every once in a while, a little blurb here and there, but it shows you he's in cahoots with a lot of these media outlets, I believe.
Bam is like TC Islam said. He said Bam is a gatekeeper, just like Dr. York was a gatekeeper. Now I'm not 100% sure of just how deep the rabbit hole goes with this gatekeeper, but there's a reason why they flipped on Dr. York. I don't know why the government flipped on Dr. York and they allowed him to be taken down and they protected Bam. But then again, you got to keep in mind too, Dr. York got flipped on by his own son. His son exposed him and he went to the FBI. So I think at some point in some time, you got to defend yourself now. If a child calls the police and say Bambaataa is molesting me, you're going to have to deal with that. But at the same time, I think what it is with Dr. York, the reason why Dr. York got taken down the way that he did, because these millionaires is not supposed to do what Dr. York did. You're not supposed to create land and make an uprise or build a community for blacks. This is why you don't see black billionaires do that. It's like, if you ever notice, Oprah go open up a school in Africa, but they don't really be doing things for us over here because they're not supposed to. They can't do it on this land. And that's what I firmly believe. So when Dr. York opened up his community and had all of those people living there, you can't do what the Jews do. We are still slaves in this country. Black people got to understand, we're still in the Constitution. After Obama is 3/5 of a man. So they're not trying to let us be in a position. They'll let a basketball player become a billionaire like Michael Jordan, but you'll never see a basketball player like Michael Jordan actually take the time out to say, all right, this is what I'm doing with my people. Here's a community right here. Here's jobs, and we're independent from the rest of this country. In New York, you have Chinatown. You don't even see, like, the Chinese, you never see inspections going on in a Chinese restaurant. It's like they got immunity to what goes on or the laws over here. But us as black people, we can't have nothing. And that's clear as day. The minute that you try to build something, it's over.
Yeah. Most definitely.
So Dr. York, I believe that's why why they allowed Dr. York to be taken down. They went on his own land and start tearing down his pyramids. And no, I don't feel sorry for him. Because the reality of it is that man was an intelligent manipulator, and he could have did a whole lot more for the people than just fucking our children. Because the bottom line to it is that's all you did. You created an atmosphere where you can rape the children. When people talk about the things that he did, that's what he did. He created an atmosphere where he could do whatever he wanted to the children.
You're seeing that with all these institutions, the Boy Scouts, the Catholic Church, different organizations, probably the YMCA. I mean, because think about it. You have access to all these kids, and that's why these priests they keep it keeps happening, and nothing. They never get punishment. They never get punishment. They just get moved to some other church or some other parish or some other place, and they continue to do what they do to children. It's disgusting. Well, with that being said, Poppy, I want to thank you so much for coming back on the show. It's always a huge honor. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing what you're doing, man, and please be safe out there, man.
Hell yeah.
Gotta have you back on many more times, brother. We're here with you. I'm here physically, but we're here, man. Whatever we can do on our end, we're always gonna have that platform available to you.
Yeah, I've been shouting y'all brothers out on every little podcast I've been on, man. I appreciate the love.
We appreciate it too, my guy.
Yeah, man, we appreciate it, Pop.
All right, thank you. Peace.